and welcome to the Grounds Crew. My name is Alex.
Alex Sr.
And this is Paul.
And today we're going to give you a sports update. So, a lot has happened in baseball. Tyler O'Neill has signed a 3-year, $49.5 million deal with the Baltimore Orioles. Shortstop Willie Adames has agreed to a 7-year, $182 million contract with the Giants. Michael Conforto joins the Dodgers on a 1-year deal. Jordan Romano agreed to a contract with the Phillies. The Blue Jays have signed Yimi Garcia to a 2-year, $15 million deal. The New York Yankees have signed Max Fried to an 8-year, $218 million contract, largest guarantee for a lefty in baseball history.
Wow.
The Blue Jays have acquired Andres Jimenez from the Guardians in a trade. Nathan Eovaldi is returning back to the Rangers on a 3-year, $75 million deal. The Texas Rangers have traded for Jake Berger from the Miami Marlins. The Boston Red Sox have acquired Garrett Crochet from the Chicago White Sox. Jonathan Loáisiga has been re-signed by the Yankees. The Yankees made a trade with Milwaukee. They sent over Nestor Cortez and a prospect for closer Devin Williams. And the Chicago Cubs have acquired Kyle Tucker in exchange for Isaac Paredes and Hayden Wesneski and a prospect. But the big one that we've all been waiting for to happen has finally happened. Juan Soto has signed a 15-year, $765 million contract with the New York Mets. Largest contract in history. Thoughts, concerns?
Where do we start?
Where do we start?
So I actually got a little breakdown of how much this is, a little bit of money, just to help us understand a little bit of how much money this is. Now, this is just approximate figures, okay? It's 300. This is talking about Soto's deal. It's $314,000 per game. It's $980,770 per week. So almost $1 million per week that he's going to make. We're not talking about during baseball. We're talking all the time. So $140,110 per day. It's $5,840 per hour. $97 per minute. $1.60 per second. Okay? So that's what that equals out to. And you're not talking anything with endorsements or anything else. This is just his money right there. That's it. That's a pretty good ka-ching worth of money. Pull it back a little bit.
It is. Juan Soto.
Yep. So that's a pretty good ka-ching amount of money when you start thinking about per week making $1 million. That's not too bad.
Making over $1 a second? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, over $1.50 per second. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind his per minute amount, $97 per minute. That's pretty good money.
I'll take $97 an hour.
And then the other thing that I just now looked up, I saw just in the last week. So here's something else that just really blew me away a little bit. And I'm going to start at the bottom of this list. Aaron Judge signed for $360 million for 9 years.
Judge?
Mookie Betts signed with LA for $365 million for 12 years. Mike Trout with the Angels was $426 million for 12 years. Ohtani was LA, $700 million for 10 years. And Soto was Mets, of course, $765 million for 15 years. So just in the amount of time that Aaron Judge has been there, we have jumped from $360 million to $765 million. That's a pretty considerable jump, especially when you consider that Juan Soto is going to make more than what you combine Judge and Betts together. That's crazy stuff. And it just makes me wonder, where's the cap? What's going to happen here?
So, to even go a little further into what you're saying, another baseball player entered free agency at a young age, like Soto. It was 26 or around 26, and this player, superstar, got a 13-year, $330 million contract, and that was Bryce Harper. And they entered free agency around the same age. I believe they were both 26. So since Harper's deal, we've gone from 330 million over 13 to 765 million over 15. It's a pretty big jump.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Now, this opt out that's in 5 years, what happens with that? Does the team get to opt out, or is it the player only?
I think it's Soto opt out. So if he decides to not opt out, that 765 number goes up because
4 million more.
4 million a year more after that 5 years. So, because right now it's listed at 51 a year. So if he doesn't opt out, it turns to 54.
So if he gets tired of being on a team that can't make it to the World Series in 5 years, he can opt out, or he can keep getting paid buku bucks.
Yeah. Or he could get paid $55 million for 10 years to play baseball.
Whether they win or not.
Whether they win or not, yeah.
How do you pay this? How is this guy getting more money than, well, he's not really per year getting more money than Ohtani, but
No.
the contract just seems bigger, but it's really not.
Well, it's
Right.
65 million more, but with 5 extra years.
Right. Right.
So, what does this do for the Mets?
Unless they get something else, nothing.
I mean, are they still a playoff team? Do you think they make the playoffs next year with the roster they have right now?
Do they get Pete Alonso back?
Yeah, it depends who stays, and yeah, I mean he's not. You know that he's not done. So now it's so.
No, Cohen's not done.
Right?
Cohen's not done.
Okay, well, who's the big names left when you really think about it?
They keep this guy or what? Pete Alonso.
We can't see it. I don't know.
You can't see that, Pete Alonso?
I don't know if they keep him or not.
I think they go out and get a first baseman. I don't know if his name's Pete Alonso. Because I don't know if Pete will get the money that he's asking or if Cohen will give the money he's asking because he just gave out $765 million.
How about him?
Goldschmidt's a Yankee.
Yay.
I think Goldschmidt's already in pinstripes.
Cool. Didn't know that. Was that on our update just now? I don't recall hearing that name.
No. It's not a given yet.
No. In my opinion, he's already in pinstripes.
Oh, okay.
I have to agree. How about Walker?
He signed, didn't he?
Christian Walker?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't signed.
No.
Hold that thought. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm on.
Yeah, Christian Walker has not signed.
Christian Walker is not signed.
That's a big one.
That's a bit, yeah. That's besides maybe Teoscar and Santander. That's the biggest name out there.
Yeah,
for a hitter.
Yeah, those are the 3 big, at least, batters left.
Yeah. Who would you rather have, Walker or Alonso? Because I have my answer.
Walker.
Yeah, he's 4 years older, but I mean his stats
I think he's
are there.
more consistent. Yeah, he's more consistent. Yeah.
So let's just say the Mets don't sign Alonso. Are the Mets a playoff team right now?
Without Walker, no.
But with Soto?
No.
I think they're playoff. I just don't know that they'll go beyond playoff.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I think they make the playoffs, but
okay. What I was telling
your deep run.
What I was telling your dad earlier. Here's the problem. So their division, they have to get above the Braves. They have to get above the Phillies. And then in order to get to the World Series, you have to get above the Dodgers. I don't know that they can get above those 3 teams to get to the World Series. I'm not sure they can even get above in their division because that's a tough division. Those other 2 teams are teams to be reckoned with.
Especially with a healthy Acuna.
Exactly. Yeah, the Braves were not healthy this year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him bring electricity back into the at-bats, Mr. Acuna. So is he slated to start this next season, or is he going to start out injured list still.
I think he got hurt early enough to where he'll be back, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him again.
Oh, we all are.
So this is where I got confusion. This headline that I saw, I saw MLB News: Christian Walker will sign with the New York Yankees. That was 2 days ago, and same source yesterday said Christian Walker will sign with the Washington Nationals.
Huh.
Give me a break! Really? I mean, is he real? Everybody's looking
news.
for him, and he's going to go.
Fake news.
Yeah. So
Wrong.
think he'll actually go to the Nationals?
No way.
The Nationals are up and coming. I could see them making a push. I heard they're in on Bregman, so anything's possible.
Bregman, where's he going to go?
Not to Houston.
He's all done?
There's no way Bregman returns.
With what just happened with Tucker, he has to feel like he's being slapped in the face. He has to.
I mean, the Astros weren't going to give him the offer he wanted anyways, and now that Kyle Tucker has been traded to the Cubs for next to nothing, I don't see a reason why he would want to return to Houston.
How do they let this guy go?
No one knows. No one knows. It's ridiculous. That may be where the... I'm sorry?
Unless he wanted out. I don't know.
I mean, unless they knew, like they had a conversation, sat down and said... And Tucker said that he's not going to resign. And even if they did have that conversation, I would feel like they could have gotten a whole lot more for him.
Exactly. I have to hope that there's something down in their minor league because something's not making sense here.
Well, it looks like they just, with that trade, it looks like they just replaced Bregman with Paredes.
Which makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. Because now you have an outfield spot open.
Yeah, I don't understand. How in the world do you go from being a team that was compatible time after time to now all of a sudden it sounds like you're just flushing yourself down the commode? I mean, literally. I just don't understand.
I guess they're really taking that wild card exit hard, and are they doing a full rebuild?
But you got to think that's what it seems like.
I mean, is Altuve on the market then?
Oh my. Wow, man!
I was just looking at that. He's got 1 year left in his contract.
If the Astros are going to do a full rebuild, I think Altuve's gone at the deadline.
You got to be kidding me! They'll have nobody left.
No, they'll have Yordan, and then he'll be gone because unless that's who they choose to build around is Yordan Alvarez, which that's a good guy to build around, but still, that's all they're going to have.
By the way, very tough autograph. Good job, Alex and Alexandra.
And that was my wife's. That was my wife's work.
Sir.
I seriously can't imagine them building around one player when they had 3 and 4 at one time. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
But anyway, yeah.
So back to Soto real quick. Or I guess back to the Mets, I should say. Do we think Cohen's done?
No way.
No.
Who else do we think the Mets are going to sign?
Well, I think one of those top 3 batters he's going to get.
I mean, I have my prediction. I think he is going to get. I mean,
which one do you think he's going to get of the 3?
I think he's re-signing Alonso.
Do you really?
I think he's going to re-sign Alonso, and I think he's going to go out and get Corbin Burns for his rotation.
Oh boy!
I think he's got the money to do it.
Corbin.
Oh, he definitely has the money. There's no doubt about that. It's a proven fact now that the guy definitely has money. I mean, if he doesn't even have to do deferment, it's pretty obvious that he doesn't have to worry about money.
So we all are in agreement that he's not done.
Right. No way.
With him not being done, where do you see the Mets this postseason? This next postseason?
Well, it depends who he gets. But if they get another batter plus a pitcher, then yes, they could definitely be playoff people. There's no doubt about it.
Do they win the division?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I can go along with that.
All right.
But that's still going to be a fun division.
That's going to be one of the best divisions in baseball this year.
Absolutely.
That's not a
And we
given.
haven't been able to say that in years past.
Absolutely. I'm not sure who all have the Phillies and the Braves even given up. The Braves haven't given up much, I don't think,
They
overall.
lost Max Fried.
I know that,
Yeah,
but
that's
overall, I think that's the only one they've given up.
he was a
Yeah.
huge anchor for that team.
Yes, he was. Yeah, I'm wondering again if they have somebody in the works because they're one of those teams that all of a sudden can go real young on you,
Yeah.
and so I
Yeah, the
wonder
Braves
if
can do
they've
that.
got a young prospect coming up that's going to be a great pitcher. And then I never keep up with the Phillies enough to know if they've given up a lot or what they've done this offseason. I don't know.
They got bullpen help, which is something they needed. They got
Okay.
Jordan Romano, which I think he had a pretty bad year actually last year, so I don't know how much that actually helps them. But
Scott, you gotta come on the show.
speaking of Max Fried, um, you know who was in on Max Fried before
Red
he
Sox.
signed?
Red Sox.
The Orioles.
The Red Sox were in on Max Fried. Yes, they were. But so were the Athletics.
Weren't they
I
out
don't
on
think
someone else too?
I don't think they're going to get anybody. I really don't.
They already signed Luis Severino.
I know
Yeah.
that, and I still can't figure out why. I don't get it.
Well, it looks like, to me, the owner pulled a successful major league, the movie. He completely dumped his team, and now that he's relocating, he's looking to add pieces.
And you start with a closer?
No, a starter. He got Luis Severino.
Oh, I thought he was a closer.
He's a starter.
I thought he was a closer. Okay. At least he's a starter. Was he a closer at one time?
I don't think so.
He might have done some bullpen work on his rehab assignments, but no.
Yeah, like if he was like dealing with an injury or something, they might have kicked him.
And he
to the
was
side or
used in
something.
relief. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, that's not his regular thing. And wasn't he used in relief during the World Series?
That's what I thought.
He was on the Mets.
I'm sorry, NLCS.
He might have. He might have been. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought during some of the playoffs or something, I saw him in the
Well,
bullpen.
The
Playpen,
well,
yeah.
for the playoffs, all teams shrink down their rotation, so many guys are just put in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
So,
Yeah,
but no,
that's
he's
true.
a starter. He's a starter.
Okay. Well,
So
that-
I mean, I guess since we're on the subject, our Yankee fan, how do you feel about Fried joining your Yankees?
Let's go, Fried.
What does this do for them after losing Soto?
Oh, hopefully he brings more friends.
Hey, don't worry, you'll have 229 Austin Wells behind the plate.
Where are the great catchers? Where are they?
They're in Philadelphia, in LA. Those are the ones that come to my mind right away.
You're talking.
I know
about,
I'm missing someone, so
well, I know there's some great young.
Baltimore
stars.
has a good catcher.
yeah, Baltimore. I knew I was missing someone.
Yeah, Baltimore's got a great catcher.
Now, if he could lead the team,
Oh, well, talking about Baltimore, at least we just now got another good bat. I'm very impressed with our batter. That this guy. Hey, I know why they got him. He just now had another year with 30 plus home runs, and Baltimore likes the long ball, and so I'm not sure why the Red Sox got rid of him, but hey, we'll take him.
I can tell you why, because they thought they were going to get Soto.
I think you're right.
And I think they were too focused on Soto. Tyler O'Neill just slipped right from their grasp. And he had such a good year, too.
I think it was an easy market right now to just sort of anybody that had him in their grip of thinking of Soto, hey, let's go ask for somebody because they're thinking about Soto. I think it was a pretty good plan to do almost anybody. And I wonder how many of these trades happened, the ones that happened pre-Soto, were that type of thought that, hey, we got a chance of Soto. And now look at how the dominoes have fallen since Soto. I mean, I know it was the winter meetings too, and dominoes always fall during the winter meetings. But it is pretty amazing how fast they've been falling. And I think we're going to have some more even before the end of the year here. Looks like a lot's going to be done before the beginning of the year. So
going back to Baltimore for a second, I heard a snippet of an interview from the Baltimore GM. And Paul, I think you'll think this is funny. He was asked why that why did they move the wall back in after just moving it out so recently? His answer was, well, we wanted to sign Tyler O'Neill and Gary Sanchez.
Get out. That is a okay. That is a drunk statement. That's nuts. That makes no sense. You know what? No, you can't tell me that he had that planned. That's nonsense.
Well,
That
no,
is
this was after the signings were announced. This was after the signings that were announced that he said that.
all I can say is, to me, you're wasting money when you're playing around with walls like this. It doesn't make any
Well,
sense. Yeah.
Trying to keep
At
the
least,
illegals out.
at least make Mexico pay for it, for crying out loud. I
oh
mean,
no,
oh, sorry. I
we
mean,
did.
if you're going to build walls, at least make as our president would say, at least make Mexico pay for it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. But
I just got notified from YouTube where we've been taken off the air.
but I don't understand. I really don't. But yeah, hey, I have no fear that O'Neill is going to hit some home runs there. There's no doubt about it. Uh, I don't. I would not be shocked if he's 30 plus again. That would not shock me in the least bit.
Man, I
Talking
really
about
wanted to see him have a full healthy year in Boston. Oh, that's gonna kill me now. That's gonna kill me because he only played just over 100 games ish, I believe. So if he had that many more games in Fenway, I would really want to know what that number would have been. I guess now we'll never know.
So help me, if he ends up sick a lot in Baltimore, I'm not going to be happy.
Mm.
I can tell you that.
All right, so what do we
speaking
think about this big Adamas deal that the Giants just signed?
I think the Giants still need a lot of help. That's another division that, man. I mean, out west there, you just got to deal with LA consistently, and I don't know. I don't think it's enough to bolster anything. I'm glad they got him. I'm not, I'm glad they got him. But I really feel sorry for those teams out there trying to go up against the dynasty of LA. I really am. I feel
Yeah.
sorry for them.
Yeah, this doesn't do enough, but Buster Posey is at least trying, and we could
Right,
applaud him for getting more
right,
bases.
right. Yep.
And then speaking of the Dodgers, Conforto is bolstering the Dodgers outfield with a 17 million dollar deal over 1 year, and he just came from the Giants. So, I mean, do we even need to say how that helps them? I mean, do they even need any more help?
Yeah, really. That's the thing. Where's their weak spot at this point?
Probably their outfield, honestly. So, and let's see, what other stuff should we talk about? There was Andres Jimenez getting traded to the Blue Jays. Um, that definitely
I,
helps the Blue
are the
Jays.
Blue Jays done?
I don't think anyone knows at this point if the Blue Jays are done.
I mean, there's
Um,
supposed to be so much money at the Blue Jays, and yet nothing has really happened, and I'm
I,
still confused.
I don't. I think it's more of a matter people don't want to play in Toronto or in Canada. They'd rather play in the land of the free, home of the brave. But
Well, you got to wonder if that's part of the problem, because I mean, they talk as if they had got all this money, and they seem to be in the talk with every big player,
they
but
are
yet
in
nothing
talks
ever
with every big
happens.
player. No one just wants to go there.
Yeah, there's something wrong. I don't understand it. I don't know if the taxes are bad or something's wrong. Something doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it's bad when one of your own players like to post about leaving his current team,
Yeah, yeah, really.
and not only just a player from the team, but the face of your organization.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it's still up in the air if they're going to lose him.
We talked about Tyler O'Neill signing, you know, not re-signing with the Red Sox on that. His WAR, if you go by that, is a 3.1. If you like that statistic or not, it's funny. I'm just looking over WAR and trying to understand the wins against replacement, the whole idea. And I think I get that to a point and understand it. That's something huge that they look at. But it's kind of incredible. Like Corbin Burns is sitting out there with a 7.2 WAR. Do you know what Juan Soto's WAR was? What is, not was, but
Or is it career or just what he did last year?
right now his WAR is. I don't know if it goes by last year. I guess last year is what it would go by. What you're getting into now. I mean, Willie Adames, we just talked about. He was way up there. As a shortstop with an 8.0 WAR. I mean, that's really good. That's a good number. That's fantastic. Juan Soto's WAR. Let's see, wins against replacement 14.2. There is no one else in double digits that I see.
Now, are we talking for the Mets or for the Yankees?
That's what you gain with signing him. You're gaining 14 more wins by having this player on your team. I think that's what basically the statistic.
What site are you looking at for that?
MLB.
That's not what I have. Let me see.
Yeah, but wait a minute. His WAR would not have been the same with the Yankees as what it would be with the Mets.
Well, yeah, you can't say what it's going to be because you don't know. You've got to go by the numbers you have in front of you. And wins against replacement, you're saying against an average player in that position, you will have 14 more wins by signing him. That's a crazy number.
The number I found, at least for last season, was like around 8. It was like 7.9. I don't know where you're seeing it.
On MLB site, list showing all the free agents for this year. And like we talked about Christian Walker, where he's going to go, he's got a 6.8 WAR. Soto's 14.2. That's crazy number.
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that number because it depends upon who's around you as to whether that WAR would make sense.
Of course it does, yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. And then, if we're talking about WAR, there was one player.
Andar still out there, and
yeah,
I mean he can help with the outfield situation for the Dodgers.
I honestly think they're going to re-sign Teoscar, but
yeah, they should.
I do.
He's close enough
to
Andar number wise.
But yeah, there's this one pitcher who pitched 2 games last year. Where is he? Where is it? There it is. Shane Bieber played 2 games last year, and he has a 2.8 WAR, 2.8 wins above replacement, and he only pitched 2 games. How does that work?
Yeah, something still doesn't make sense with WAR with me. I don't understand.
I don't get it either. I don't. That's why I don't go off it because I just don't understand it. But since we were talking WAR, I thought I'd bring that up. Let's see. And then Evaldi returned to the Rangers. Rangers got Jake Burger from Miami. Garrett Crochet to the Red Sox. I'm very happy about this one.
What do you think?
It gives us pitching help. The Red Sox were a
Is it enough?
Oh no, the Red Sox still need to do a lot more, and I don't think they're done. I think Craig Breslow and the new front office are really trying to make a statement that they're here and they want to spend money on players. This is the first time in a long time, basically since they got rid of Mookie Betts, that I've had hope. Hope for the Red Sox. Exciting times in Boston. I can't wait to see who they sign or even trade for. I don't think they're done bolstering their roster at all. I'm excited.
I sure hope not. One of the reasons why, because I personally think with Soto gone from New York, it gives the rest of that division a chance to bolster up some. And I'm really liking the chances for Baltimore in that division. But I mean, that division really was a good division this year. Several teams above 500. Mm-hmm. And I really think that this is a good chance for Boston to really bolster back and be in a second, third spot there in that division with just a little bit of buildup. I don't think it's going to take a lot of buildup to get there.
Right. So the Yankees won the division last year, right?
Right. They sure did, but not by much because Baltimore was right on their heels the whole time.
Right. So what did they do the year before without Soto?
Exactly. They were nothing.
Exactly. So the Yankees need to bolster their lineup to a point to replace Juan Soto, essentially. Because
Exactly.
I credit Juan Soto with them getting to the World Series.
I do too. I do too. And that's why I can't believe for just a few $1,000,000 less, he didn't stay with them. Because it's like, man, dude, you just now went to a winning team, and no one can say that you weren't the reason they won.
Well, you know what they say? Well, Juan Soto has the money now, right? But they say time is money. And there was an extra year on that contract for $5 less million. So that's an extra year of his life that he gets without having to be tied down.
No, it all had to do with his family being kicked out of the suite.
I hope it's not that petty, because that's pretty petty if that's a reason why.
Imagine being that security guard.
That's a pretty petty reason if that's the reason why. I'll tell you that.
Security guard that ruined the Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah, they better not name him, because if they name him,
Oh, forget about it.
you might as well be like the penny guy walking around New York, subway guy.
Or the naked cowboy, as we saw in the city.
Yeah. I only said the penny guy because they were protesting outside saying you're not welcome in New York.
All right, we ready to talk NFL?
Did we talk enough about what's happening in Houston?
Wow.
I mean,
not a good day to be a Houston fan.
no.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there. I think they're in total rebuild.
I really wish I had the guts and knew who to talk to, because Houston does their minor league right over here in West Palm.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I knew who to talk to, because I would love to just, and I would sincerely do it. I wouldn't be ugly about it, but be like, what's your plan? I mean, where are you headed? I wouldn't mind going and seeing some of their minor league stuff just to see if, I mean, hopefully surely they got a plan here. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to just.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
And I hate to see a team go from being a top tier team to an absolute, what are you doing, within 2 or 3 years. That's a good way to lose fans, especially when you lost some fans a few years ago with some of the junk you were doing. So it's like, come on, man, this is not a good way to bolster fan support, and I just don't understand.
So explain to me this: why would you get rid of someone who right now has a career OPS of 869, and in his limited time last year, because he was hurt, in 78 games, this man had a 993 OPS. Why do you want him playing for someone else?
It has to do what your dad had to have hit it right. He must not have wanted to play for Houston anymore. There has to be more to this story.
It does seem like there's something that we're missing. Some insider thing, because it doesn't make sense. They should have never let him go for nothing.
Right, that's the point. It's not just a matter of letting him go, but for what they got, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even fill any of their holes. I mean, that's the thing that doesn't make any sense. It's like,
so what? Last year Paredes had a 739 OPS, and that's who they got in return.
Yeah, see.
Houston, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Houston,
this man has a career 755 OPS.
Yeah,
Houston, we have a problem.
No, Houston has a major problem. They don't just have a problem. They have, I think they have an existential crisis problem, okay? You don't get rid of one of your best players and get basically a replacement for a different one.
Fire the manager.
Well, and the thing is, they're in a division that they could dominate if they wanted to.
Even with this move, they still have a chance right now.
I know. But they could be the domination for 2 or 3 more years, because those other teams don't seem to be building in a hurry. And so it's like, what are you doing? Why would you do this? I mean, I don't understand. I just don't. Yeah, it just doesn't. None of it makes sense. It's like
I think they've had a problem over the last couple of years as well, recruiting players to come play there because of the stigmatism from 2017.
I think people are now over it, though.
Over it to an extent, yeah.
Yeah, I think they are. I think most people are over it.
I'm just saying, in the last few years, they've had a problem in recruiting great players to come there. They've had they had a good core. They were able to add a few pieces, but I think it's just been tough to convince people to come there. When the money that they're throwing, other teams are throwing around for top talented players, it's hard to want to stay in Houston or to go to Houston when you can get more somewhere else.
Right. Houston is one of those teams that doesn't really like to spend, so.
Well, that's true, but they haven't had to because of the competition in their division.
But I say that, but then they're paying tons of money for Verlander and Altuve and all that. Well, I don't know Altuve's contract, but
It's just
Verlander's making
interesting.
a lot.
It's interesting that division has, through the years, I'm looking at the division here. Houston Astros has been on the top and went to the bottom. LA Angels has been on the top and just goes to the bottom. Seattle Mariners, way back with Griffey, way back then, was at the top, the bottom. Rangers,
never won a
I
World
can't
Series.
even explain the Rangers. The Rangers don't even make any sense. I mean, they went from top to bottom in like a half a year. And so it's just interesting that division has had that problem all along, that they can't consistently stay at the top.
Yeah. Speaking of the Rangers, I just saw a interesting stat. Bruce Bochy, after winning a World Series, his team has never done well the next year.
Oh, wow. Wow, now, see, that's the kind of stat that does not make any sense.
No, it
I
doesn't.
don't.
So I guess the Rangers are back in the mix next year. Because
Well, they didn't lose a lot of people was what didn't make any sense. It was like, how can you be the same team and get that bad? It's like, what? That just happened.
they might have had like an injury bug or something. I'm not sure, but it was a different team that went on the field.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Altuve's contract was $125 million for 5 years, and he's got 1 year left on it. It's not that bad.
No, but Verlander was making like 40 something a year. So,
yeah.
But if the Astros decide that it's time for a rebuild, do we think Altuve's gone by the end of the off season, by the end of the deadline, or they hold on to him?
He gone.
I think the deadline.
I think he starts the season as an Astro. If they decide to go full rebuild, he's gone at the deadline.
I would think that hopefully he would know, and they would talk to him about, okay, here's our plans. We're willing to build around you and Alvarez. If you two will stick it out, here's our young players. Here's who we have. Here's who's coming.
I will say this: they clearly didn't want to pay Tucker. Alvarez is going to require a lot more than Tucker will.
Does he deserve more than Tucker?
Oh yeah,
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll stay once his contract's up. I don't know when it is. I think he's still young enough. Let me see.
Well, if they're losing both of them possibly in the next 2 years, then they are definitely going to be rebuilding.
Yordan Alvarez is signed through 2028.
Okay, so that's a few years out.
Yeah. Tucker is next offseason.
Wow.
You think about this stuff, you think the Astros do anything?
Sir, no one wants to see you talk to your dog about baseball.
Yeah, it must be time to go to NFL now if we're talking to dogs. All right, do we want to just stop this?
Dogs.
Do we want to stop this and just do a whole new podcast? We're at 45 minutes.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait, don't forget to mention this guy.
Can't see any of this.
No.
Is that Bill?
That's Bill Belichick.
Bill Nye, the science guy. Bro.
No, that's the football talk. We're not going to do that in baseball.
No, but I just want to make mention of what.
We're recording another episode. So.
Don't worry, I have it down.
Alrighty.
Have no fear.
After some frustration, this is the Grounds Crew. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We are on Instagram, TikTok, and where you're watching here on YouTube.